Mavis!
Hey,
How
Chris!
are you? Good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Come on in.
Thank you. Wow, glad to be back to this beautiful studio.
Thanks.
See this nice piano.
Yeah, try the piano.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Very nice tune.
Sounds great.
Nice piano. Has a very warm sound and touch. Okay, next album. Right here. Very nice. Wow. Okay, so this is Stanway.
Yeah, 1954.
1954.
Yeah.
So how long have you had this studio? How long have you?
I opened up in 2012.
2012.
So I'm on year 7 here.
Oh, well, year 7.
Yeah.
Wow. And you built this all yourself, right?
Yeah.
Including the walls and
Right.
that, all this too.
Yeah, I was a construction worker for a whole year. I built these things, I just cut them,
Uh-huh.
all this size, and stained them differently. And then when I was just going to put them up, and then...
But this is for acoustic, or it's for visual?
Right, it's for acoustic.
It's for acoustic, okay.
And then I just changed the look.
Yeah, and I like
randomly.
it real, okay.
So there's like
the shape
12
of it.
inches of insulation inside.
Oh, right.
And then I make this like an angle just to cut all the parallel walls. So the whole entire studio, including the control room, is only 800 square feet. So I'm really using every single bit of space in here
right.
to make it as useful as possible. So I built these rooms and try to keep them a little bit larger than most booths would be, like a drum booth. I wanted like a little bit more space.
Yeah, and this actually has a...
And keep the ceilings higher. Just so, you know, I could get a little more comfort for the musicians and to get a little more sound out of it. And plus I could switch out like the configurations a little bit easier and put 5, 6 horns in here.
Oh,
drums
you can always
I have
switch.
a little more flexibility. And then this, the main live room, it was kind of difficult to build on top on this I forget what it's called on the flat part, but like because the whole thing was built as a square, so I was trying to cut the square apart. That's why I built this wall on an angle. That's why I did the ceiling at different angles. And then every place I couldn't change, like that wall and this wall are parallel, so I tried to just break up in individual parts with baffles and some acoustic treatment.
And this is actually workable. It's a real.
Oh yeah,
Hammond.
this is Hammond B3.
Oh, I didn't play.
It's screaming.
Nice. Here's the control. And you build this too. I mean,
Yeah, all
I
these
remember you
walls.
told me you both build the wall. Too,
Right.
For the wall. And all the installations. And that is for installation too. The little wood.
Oh yeah, those are diffusers.
Oh, they're very
So
cute.
yeah, right? They look cool.
They're very cool, right?
And they should be behind the listening station. So instead of just getting absorbed, the sound getting absorbed, it gets diffused, so it doesn't sound so dead.
Right. So here's your. So let's have a seat.
Sure.
All right. So Chris Sulit is the engineer of my latest album, Set for Love. I have never worked with Chris before until my producer Ulysses Owens introduced us, and I'm glad he bring a nice Asian guy into my crew. And I work here with Chris a bit here to do my vocal track, and this is his homemade studio, and I'm very impressed by his work. And but mostly I'm more impressed by these two things. When I walk in, I was like, oh, you have Grammys? Like, oh, I want one too.
Just being on top of the speakers, they make everything sound better.
Yeah, exactly. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself, and not so much about me. So how you started being an engineer or your musical background. So.
I started off as a singer.
Really?
And, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Just
that.
singing, yeah. And then I also played drums and
Mhm.
electric bass and a little bit of piano.
Uh-huh.
But I started recording really, really early, like 6th grade, maybe when I was
Really?
like 12.
With what little tape
Little tape
recorder?
recorders,
Okay.
and doing a little multi-track
Uh-huh.
with one cassette here and another cassette here, just keep on moving the cassettes,
Okay.
shuffling. And then eventually I went to college for recording engineering in Drexel University in Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
And then right after that I was just
start
went full
working.
force,
Uh-huh.
trying to record all the time. And
Yeah. So what kind of music, what kind of project you kind of start with? Pop,
Sure.
rock, or...
I mean, in high school I was recording all the rock bands that were in
And you played
school.
drums and you would...
Yeah, and then I
you
played a
rock it
little
out.
bit. I played keyboard and sang and a whole
Mhm.
bunch of bands also.
Mhm.
But I also loved jazz. I also loved classical the whole time.
Uh-huh.
So it was nice to get into a studio and start kind of focusing on recording
Mhm.
acoustic instruments.
Mhm.
Like, so jazz was kind of where I landed.
Right.
Classical was also where I landed too. And I
Okay,
love
so
it.
you do mostly jazz and classical
Yes, yeah.
now. And,
Yeah, and it's great.
And because you're a drummer, and my producer is a drummer too, so we have fantastic miking for my album, so you should pay attention to that.
Yes.
So tell us about those 2 Grammy, if you don't mind. That I'm so...
Sure. I worked with Ruben Blades.
Uh-huh.
Some people call him Ruben Blades.
Uh-huh.
And he's an incredible singer, and the musical director
Mhm.
of this project is Carlos Franzetti,
Mhm.
who is brilliant.
Mhm.
So this record is a whole bunch of almost like a greatest hits,
Mhm.
but in tango arrangements. All the arrangements are in
Ah.
tangos, so it's really interesting, and it's really a different twist on these tunes that everybody knows.
Mhm.
And it was a beautiful project because we recorded the rhythm section first, and then we sent that out to Prague. So the Prague Philharmonic went on top.
Oh, really? Wow.
And then we sent part of it to Argentina for their orchestra to play on that. They sent it back, and then we did all the vocals, all the mixing, all the mastering, and then it did very well.
Yeah.
So proud.
So when I see this, I was tell Chris, I'm gonna come here like very often. So if I'm gonna make 10, so hopefully I will get one. Yeah, we're gonna
Chances
get...
increase the more you do.
So enough about that album. Tell me a little bit honestly about your experience of your working with this
Sure.
Set for Love, and what's the fun part, what's the challenging part, or
Right.
what's the experience?
Well, the great part for me was that you chose the right team, in my opinion.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
bringing Ulysses in, me and him have done so many projects
Right.
together,
Mhm.
and every project I've done with him has had a high standard
Right.
of quality.
Yes. Yes.
And this project was no exception.
Right.
It's actually an exceptional
Yeah.
record,
I'm glad. you
a
said that, right.
exceptional album.
But yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
and having you in the studio has been a pleasure because you have this positive driving force
Oh, really?
as the leader.
Okay, I wasn't a bitch, right?
You weren't a bitch.
Okay, good. Just want to clarify that.
Sure. But it was very nice, and then just hearing the music take shape, because I come in as a recording engineer just listening,
Right.
with no, I wasn't there for the prep, I wasn't there for any of that. I just come in fresh.
Mhm.
So it's really interesting and fun for me to hear it take shape.
Right.
And then I was truly sold with you
Mhm.
when we did that session at Bunker, and I heard the string arrangements.
Oh,
I was
right.
like, okay.
Because I was
This is a deep cat
conducting.
here.
I was conducting the string quartet
Sure, yeah.
too, and going back.
And the
forth.
arrangements are beautiful, and
Oh, thank
everything
you.
was great. So
Right.
I was really sold.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, because I know Ulysses actually was quite tough on the guys.
Sure,
when
yeah.
we record. So I'm trying to be a nicer mother. Like, so you guys sounded great. You guys sounded great. So and it was a fun day. It was a fun
Oh,
day.
yeah,
Even
it's
though I was quite. It was very tough, like 2 long day, and I was
Yeah,
singing,
yeah.
playing, and
Mhm.
try to directing a bit. But I'm glad it came through.
Yeah.
And also, I was, as I talk about being a singer, it's not that easy for me to
Sure.
to play so many roles, be composer and sing my songs.
Right.
But we're glad we made it through.
Yeah.
And I'm happy we make this exceptional album. I think, in my opinion. So-
Yeah, everybody was great. I mean, the lyrics.
Yeah,
are
there was this
beautiful.
David. Right.
He did
right.
such a great job. And then after hearing the final project with the mix and the master,
Yeah, we have
Dave Darlington
David
is-
Darlington. Yeah.
he's brilliant.
Brilliant, right. So I'm happy to have Chris on board and hope there are many, many more.
Yes, please.
Yeah, until I get my own. So you will see us a lot in the coming year, and hopefully you can visit Chris at his beautiful studio. If you want somebody to record your album, this is a guy.
Thanks.
Should have